here at our border is Jaeson Jones, and alongside him, of course, who was at yesterday's hearing, is former Director and Special Operations at the DEA, Derek Maltz. Gentlemen, welcome in. Great to see you both. And we was watching you very closely yesterday. Welcome in.
Thank you.
Bianca, it's good to be with you.
First off, the breaking story we just reported on, horrible, 27 graves there, people discovered. Obviously, we know that the cartels are brutal and the way they dispose of their bodies. But, you know, when we see this continuing to happen, and we also know, Jaeson, Reynosa is an area where many of the migrants, including undocumented children, are just held before they come to our border. Your reaction?
Well, it's nothing new. I mean, this is nothing new at all. And you have to understand why. The cartel, specifically Cartel de Golfo, Cartel Jalisco New Generation, and CDN are all at war in that region. And so what they do is they kill innocent migrants or innocent Mexican citizens usually. They chop their heads off, their arms, their legs, and then they dispose of their bodies publicly, usually for the purposes of getting the Mexican military to come in and go after their rivals. I mean, guys, in 2012, we rescued 52 migrants who the Zetas were about to execute. And literally, they would take 10 to 12 at a time, take them to what they called a kill house, chop them into pieces just for this very purpose. The day before we had tried to rescue, and we later learned we lost 49. Now imagine living with that. Imagine. This is what we've been dealing with for a very long time, guys. So, you know, this is nothing new. And yet yesterday, as we testified, and, you know, I'm honored to be on with Derek Maltz. Let me tell you, that's a good man right there. He has done more for the families of 100,000 citizens who have been lost in this country due to these cartels. It's time to take them on, and that's really what the goal yesterday was all about.
Yeah, and I know, Jaeson, that there was some pretty intense moments. You really took exception to, I think it was Sheila Jackson, who quoted from an article, and these ridiculous reports about border agents throwing babies into waters, that kind of thing, which are just absolutely absurd. And Derek, you know, look, your testimony, Jaeson's, was alarming and cause for concern. It highlights the crisis, as you guys have been talking about, on the southern border and the threat of the cartels to America's national security. As Jaeson, as I was talking, it got heated between him and Jackson. The hearing also got heated with you and some of the another member of the committee. Tell us about that. What prompted that?
Well, from my standpoint, I was very upset that the ranking member was basically suggesting in his opening statement that we were wasting his time, that we were stuck in the southwest border Groundhog Day. That's a quote. And it was a political stunt to exert power, the MAGA schemes. So I was there representing families, and I was very prepared to educate all of America about these dead kids that are dying all over the country. And it was very, very insulting. I mean, Jaeson Jones took time to come up there to educate the whole committee, and this book is loaded with dead kids, and this man was insulting. And I wasn't going to sit back, because I'm standing up for the families that are desperately trying to get awareness about this crisis in our country. It's very irresponsible that the current administration overturned these amazing Homeland Security policies that were implemented to keep us safe. Because I thought the job of the government was to protect all Americans.
Yeah, and you're talking about ranking member Benny Thompson, who made those comments. So I just want our viewers to know that. You know, the other thing that came out of this, Jaeson, you talked about what the cartels are doing as far as slave labor, and you held up some wristbands. In the time we have left, we have maybe like 30 seconds. Tell us just real quickly about the testimony you gave on that.
Yeah, sure. You know, I was trying to be very clear here that what you're witnessing in my hand right there is America's new slave trade. We broke that story in February of 2021, all as a result of the Biden administration's policies. These people flooded in, and the cartels were so overwhelmed, they literally created this process where they put wristbands on men, women, and children so that when they come into this country, they can't afford the fees. So now they're indebted. Think of this, John, for years, if not decades to come, to a terrorist organization in a foreign country. We have never been here. And yet we sat in these hearings yesterday and we listened to the kind of things we heard. I'll tell you, we're not going to fix this anytime soon. The states are going to have to go at it alone. And that's exactly what you're seeing in Texas. But I was honored to be on the committee yesterday. I want to thank the chairman for having me, but also, most importantly, to be next to Derek Maltz. That's a good man right there. He's doing great things for families in this country.
Well done, guys. Great. Great job.
Yeah, great job. And, speaking of those bracelets, I remember Ted Cruz asked Alejandro Mayorkas under oath, and he said, I've never seen them. So that was also a powerful moment there. You guys keep up the great work, and great to see you. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.